Today on Public Eye News, President Carrie Schuling addresses NMU for the first time in an email, and the whistleblower from Facebook will testify in Congress today. Later, Brady Hinshaw will have your weather, and I will be back with your sports. Hi, I'm Justin Van Hoff, and this is Public Eye News. And recently appointed interim president Carrie Schuling addressed students and faculty in an email yesterday. She said she is truly humbled that the NMU Board of Trustees asked her to serve Northern as interim president. She stated, quote, "I will do all that I can to ensure that the university continues to move forward in innovative, progressive, and safe ways during my tenure in this position," unquote. She also mentioned there will be ongoing information forthcoming about the presidential search in the coming weeks and months. And in the fall 2020 semester, the NMU Music Department offered a new major called Music with Elective Studies in an Outside Field, or music industry for short, to enable students to focus more on the production, promotion, or business sides of music. In the past, the department offered a bachelor's degree in music and a bachelor's degree in music education. With the new music industry major, students still take music classes, but they also choose to focus their studies on one of four concentrations: music management, entrepreneurship, marketing and publicity, or multimedia production. Mark Flatterhy, the head of the music department, said when students pursue a music degree, their careers often go in a lot of different directions. The music industry major provides students a greater versatility when they enter the workforce. And fans of Tamaki and Smoothie King, who returned to campus from the summer hoping to get their favorite dishes on the first day of school, were left with the news of the restaurant being closed. Since Monday, August 23rd, Tamaki and Smoothie King have been closed due to short staffing within NMU Dining Services. Paul Schoenveld, Director of Dining Services, said that the decision to close Tamaki and Smoothie King was made on the focus of Dining Services efforts for the mission of serving resident hall students, meal plan holders, and the campus community. Quote, "While students and the campus community love Tamaki and Smoothie King, we knew that consolidating our efforts into the center of campus would allow us to maintain a level of service that would have otherwise been impossible without doing so," unquote. And an author of Southside Buddhist Ira Sher Kang is set to visit campus this coming week. He'll be holding a reading and discussion in the Peninsula Room in the Northern Center at 7 p.m. on Thursday, October 7th, and it will conclude with a Q&A session. Sher Kang was born to Thai immigrants and is a Midwest writer who focuses on his second-generation immigrant experiences. His publications include This Jade World, Buddha's Dog and Other Meditations, Southside Buddhists, Talk Thai, The Adventures of a Buddhist Boy, The Melting Season, and In Thailand, It Is Night. Sir Kang's writings has won several awards, including the 2015 American Book Award for Southside Buddhist Essays, a New York Foundation for the Arts Fellowship in Nonfiction Literature, an Arts and Letter Fellowship, and an Anita Claire Scharf Award in Poetry. According to the Visitor Writers Program site, he is a professor of creative writing at Kenton College in Ohio. He visits NMU as part of the English Department's Visiting Writers Program and is sponsored by the Diversity Common Readership Project. And don't touch that dial, because after this break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
This is blowing my mind.
On Finding Your Roots, journalist Gretchen Carlson.
I always knew that this was how I was raised, but now I understand why.
And Don Lemon.
I've got to do something that honors their memory.
Family Secrets.
He was a local celebrity.
Why did nobody ever tell me this?
And Untold Stories.
Your father was an historic player in the Civil Rights Movement.
Wow.
Finding Your Roots.
Tonight at 8 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back. Johnson & Johnson asked the Food and Drug Administration on Tuesday to allow extra shots of its COVID-19 vaccine as the U.S. government moves toward expanding its booster campaign to millions more vaccinated Americans. J&J said it filed a request with the FDA to authorize boosters for people 18 and older who previously received the company's one-shot vaccine. While the company said it submitted data on several different booster intervals ranging from 2 to 6 months, it did not formally recommend one to regulators. And federal agents raided the offices Tuesday of a New York City police union, the Sergeants Benevolent Association, and the Long Island home of its bombastic leader, who has clashed with city officials over his incendiary tweets and hard time spokesperson, FBI spokesperson Martin Feely said agents were, quote, carrying out a law enforcement action in connection with an ongoing investigation. Along with the union's Manhattan headquarters, agents also searched the union president Ed Mullen's home in Port Washington, Long Island, Feely said. And victims of abuse within France's Catholic Church welcomed a historic turning point Tuesday after a new report estimated that 330,000 children in France were sexually abused over the past 70 years, providing the country's first accounting of the worldwide phenomena. The figures include abuses committed by some 3,000 priests and an unknown number of people involved in the church, wrongdoing that the Catholic authorities covered up over decades in a systematic manner, according to the president of the commission that issued the report, Jean-Marcus Suave. The 2,500-page document was issued in the Catholic Church in France, like in any other countries, seek to face up to shameful secrets that were long covered up. Victims welcomed the report as long overdue, and the head of the French Bishops' Conference asked for forgiveness from them. And the United Arab Emirates on Tuesday announced plans to send a probe to land on an asteroid between Mars and Jupiter to collect data on the origins of the universe in the latest project in the Oil-Rich Federation's ambitious space program. A successful landing would see the UAE join an elite club of European Union, Japan, and the United States, which have completed the feat on either an asteroid or a comet. The probe would remain behind the asteroid, transmitting back to the Earth information on composition of the asteroid as long as the batteries remain charged. And a former Facebook employee has come forward to claim the social media giant knowingly allows the spread of harmful misinformation and that its products damage the mental health of young users. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
Whistleblower Frances Haugen appeared before Congress to say Facebook knew about the harm its products were causing, but placed profits ahead of safety.
I'm here today because I believe Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy.
Haugen, who worked as a product manager on the civic misinformation team for 2 years, told lawmakers Facebook ignored its own evidence that Instagram was creating body image problems for teens.
Engagement-based ranking on Instagram can lead children from very innocuous topics like healthy recipes to anorexia promoting content over a very short period of time.
Haugen says Facebook research also shows its product is used to undermine democracy, pointing out the misinformation that led to the January 6th Capitol assault and the COVID vaccine skepticism.
The dangers of engagement-based ranking are that Facebook knows that content that elicits an extreme reaction from you is more likely to get a click, a comment, or reshare.
Lawmakers are looking at ways the government can better regulate Facebook and other social media sites, something that appears to have bipartisan support.
If they won't act, and if big tech won't act, Congress has to intervene.
I've been arguing for some time that it is time for Congress to act.
Facebook says it wants Congress to provide more regulation.
We do think that regulation is important, so that there is somebody outside of us validating our work.
The company also told CBS News, "We continue to make significant improvements to tackle the spread of misinformation and harmful content." Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And as flu season approaches, health officials say that even if you've never gotten the flu shot before, getting it this year is more important than ever. WDBJ7's Brittany Morgan spoke with the Virginia Department of Health about what they believe will be an intense flu season.
More than ever, the flu shot is essential.
Health officials in Virginia are stressing the importance of the flu shot ahead of what could be an impactful flu season.
If you think about last year, we had emergency orders from the governor. We had lockdown standards. We had all these precautions in place. But this year, we've relaxed our standards. This could be really bad. The flu and COVID overlap in their symptoms. So in terms of patient management, it will be very complicated.
Last year, the chance to get a flu and COVID shot at the same time was not possible. This year, officials say it is safe to do so.
The flu and the COVID vaccination can be taken at the same time. You can have the flu shot with whatever version, whatever brand, and if it's 1, 2, or 3. Folks should be prepared to not feel so great for 6 hours or so the following day, but we still think it's a small price to pay.
Bell says in the West Piedmont Health District, turnout for the flu shot is relatively strong. She advises everyone to take the flu shot, especially young children in school.
We know that there are strep infections and stomach bugs going around at the schools now. Getting the flu shot would eliminate the flu. The CDC and the FDA is working on clearance for giving younger children 5 and up the COVID vaccine as well, but I wouldn't let that hold me back. Go ahead and get those flu shots for your family.
Rolling sleeves up to keep infection rates down.
On most years, we lose thousands of people to flu. And, you know, we're losing people to COVID. So put those two together, and that's kind of scary.
In Rocky Mount, Brittany Morgan, WDBJ7.
And after this break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
The largest Arctic expedition ever.
And we want to understand why the ice is melting.
It impacts everything we do, all of the weather that we experience.
There's never been data like this.
We all have to care.
To protect the planet, to protect everyone.
What is at stake? Everything, I would say.
Arctic Drift on Nova.
Wednesday night at 9 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back. I'm your weatherman, Brady Hinshaw, and let's take a dive into those current conditions. It is mostly sunny skies with a temperature of 62 degrees, winds out of the northeast at 6 miles an hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.30 and falling. Looking towards tonight, it is clear skies, low 51, winds out of the south at 5 miles an hour. Looking towards tomorrow, we have more sunny skies with a high of 71, winds out of the south at 7 miles an hour. Taking a look at the beautiful UP, it is a combination of clouds and sun with 70 in Sault Ste. Marie, 68 in both Manistee and Escanaba, 66 in Menominee. Looking at our western half, we have 72 in both Iron Mountain and Ironwood, 68 in Houghton, and back in beautiful Marquette, it is 62. Looking at our week ahead, we have Thursday a high of 70, low of 56 and mostly cloudy. Friday a high of 68 and a low of 58 and rain. Saturday a high of 72 and a low of 60 and mostly sunny. Now on to Justin Van Hoff with them sports.
And the Los Angeles Chargers traveled to Las Vegas to play the undefeated Raiders. Both teams, recently having moved cities, struggled to move the ball through the air, but Austin Eckler ran all over Allegiant Stadium and the Raiders' defense for 117 yards. Justin Herbert didn't get his normally 300 passing yards, but still threw for 3 touchdowns to help the Chargers to 28 points. Derek Carr, the NFL's leading passer, threw for 2 touchdowns of his own, but the Raiders could only muster 14 points and lost their game of the season to the Chargers. And the NBA preseason started yesterday, and the Phoenix Suns played their first game since losing in the NBA Finals to the Milwaukee Bucks. Devin Booker and Chris Paul did not play, but DeAndre Ayton played 12 minutes for the Suns and scored 8 points in his limited action. The Sacramento Kings played more of their regulars with Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, and Harrison Barnard, and star point guard De'Aaron Fox all played more than 20 minutes, the 117-106 win for the Kings. And the Timberwolves took the court for the first time in head coach Chris Finch's first preseason game with the team after he was hired mid-season by the team. It was only the first time we saw the Timberwolves play since the firing of former president of basketball operations, Garen Rosas. Pelicans superstar Zion Williamson did not play, but Timberwolves star Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and fan favorite Anthony Edwards all playing, along with the 2020 draft pick Leonardo Balmero, making his debut for the team after leaving Barcelona in the EuroLeague. And thank you so much. That is all we have for today, folks. This is Public Eye News. Thank you for tuning in.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.